What does it mean to have a free mind? That's what we're investigating today. If you're a climber, you can go to a local climbing gym or crag and you see climbers getting upset. We call it throwing a wobbler. They're pissed off, they're upset. Why? Well, I see it's for two reasons. One is that their expectations didn't get met. In other words, they expected to succeed or progress and that didn't happen. They fell. And their egos are hurt. So they're kind of in an existential crisis where they feel maybe worthless or feel like failures and they get defensive. This is one reactive behavior to be defensive. So it may seem like they really care, like they're upset because they care about performing better, but it's really just a distraction of attention. And might be typical behaviors, but it's not very warrior-like. And what we're looking for here in these lessons is how to be more warrior-like and have more of a warrior mindset in approaching our challenges. So what this reactive kind of behavior does is it locks your attention in the mental prison of your own making. You're creating that yourself. Don't want to do that. The main point is that mental training has everything to do with attention. Our goal is attention focused in the moment on the task. Well, when you fall, there's a task there. You need to learn what to do differently so that the next time you climb, the next effort, you diminish chances of falling again. You got to create a plan to change. And when you're just reacting, then you're distracting your attention away from that task, delaying your process for addressing it, coming up with a new plan, and it locks your attention in a mental prison. That's what I mean by it. The thing to remember is that life is constantly changing. Are you going to flow with that change or are you going to resist it? This is where we've talked about in the past about the difference between responding and reacting. When you're responding to the situation, then attention is going with how the event is unfolding. When you're reacting, then you're resisting how attention can flow with the situation. That's when you lock attention in your mental prison. So you need to find a way to flow with change and trust how life is unfolding. How much control do you really have over your attention? Remember, our goal is attention focused in the moment on the task. When we look at this in a warrior context, we want to move toward being more impeccable warriors. And we do that by focusing our attention impeccably. Now, impeccable simply means flawlessly, like there are no flaws in how you're focusing your attention. Well, that's the goal. That's what we're working toward, being able to use our attention more effectively and have it focus more 100% on the task. But we never quite get all the way there. So it's more like a direction. Being able to use our attention impeccably is a direction that we want to go in. And that direction is important because it helps us know where we're going so we can make course corrections when we fall off of that path. So what is a free mind? We define a free mind as a mind that allows attention to flow freely as the situation changes. Your attention, focused impeccably, needs to flow with how the situation is changing. So you need to be adaptable to how life is constantly changing. So you need to address attention distractions. Now, attention distractions typically happen when you're facing a challenge, when you have stressors in your life. So attention gets distracted away from just dealing with them properly. This is when your attention gets locked in the mental prison. This is when your attention doesn't flow, you're not using your attention impeccably, and you're not demonstrating that you have a free mind. Now, the free flow of attention is directly related to the amount of freedom that we feel we have. The more attention you can have focused in the moment as the situation is changing and unfolding, the more freedom you really have to act in that situation. And we addressed freedom in this context in the last lesson, number 8. So you can go back and revisit that lesson to get a better understanding of how a free mind relates to the level of freedom that you have. An important aspect of mental training is awareness and attention. I like to look at this as having two different minds. You have an unmoved mind of awareness. It's just a field of awareness that doesn't move, that everything that you're experiencing exists within. The second mind is a flexible and agile mind. It's the intentional directing of awareness. When you're using this mind, you're actively directing your attention toward the task. Life is always changing, so you need the second mind, that the active one, to be flexible, to adapt to how life is naturally unfolding and changing. These two minds help create the free mind. I introduced the warrior master skill in previous lessons, which is noticing and redirecting attention back to the task. Well, these two minds help you do this master warrior skill that help you create this free mind that we're working toward. First one, the unmoved mind of awareness, helps us notice when our attention is lost in thought. This second, flexible, agile mind helps us delay reacting and redirect our attention to the task. This second mind is directed in two directions, internally and externally. We need to be alert to what's going on inside of us, like body tensions, intuitive signals that we're getting, and externally to what we're perceiving with our senses. That gives us situational awareness. So these two minds keep us awake and alert to unlock the mental prison so attention can flow freely as the situation is changing, so that we can have this free mind. Frustration and defensiveness are not the behaviors that are aligned with the kind of mind that you want for your life, for your climbing, and especially not this definition of a free mind that I'm describing here. Those behaviors keep your attention locked in a mental prison of your own making. So next time you go to the gym or the crag, notice how people get upset throwing these wobblers, and definitely don't do it yourself. Use your mind in a better way. Use your unmoved mind to keep you awake. Use your flexible, agile mind to keep you alert to your internal and external environment, giving you that situational awareness. That's going to put you on the path toward using your attention more impeccably. When you're doing that, then you're living your life and you're climbing more as an impeccable warrior. Don't keep your attention locked in a mental prison of your own making with these frustration, defensive behaviors, and other reactive behaviors like that. They create anxiety, they create fear, definitely don't create more peace in your life. And you want to create more space, more freedom, more peace in how you're experiencing challenges. So use the master skill to unlock attention from that mental prison, and then use these two minds to help you do that. So here's the drill. First, be awake. Notice when your attention is lost in thought and bring it back to just your awareness. That grounds you in what you can perceive. It grounds you in being able to then do step number 2, which is be alert. Direct attention internally to what you're feeling inside yourself and your senses and what you can perceive externally. Delay any reactions that you're having, or stop them and delay them, and redirect your attention to the task. So the key words here are notice, delay reacting, and redirect attention to the task. This warrior master skill that I've introduced before. These help you let attention flow as the situation is changing and creates the free mind that you want.